Yo, 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 this is Mr. O. Yo, 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 this is Mr. O. And today we're going to learn two special right triangles. 45, 45, 90, 30, 60, 90. Both of them have 90 degrees because it's a right triangle. Okay, let's go. So first we're going to go with 45, 45, 90. Again, if this is 90 degrees, this has to be 45, that has to be 45. They have to be equal. If they're equal, then their opposite sides to each 45 has to be the same. That's why this is A and that's A. And if you need to find the missing side of the hypotenuse of a 45, 45, 90, just grab that A and multiply by square root of 2. For example, I have here a triangle. This is my, one of the leg is 8 and another leg here is X. Since I know that this is 45 and this is 90, how much do you think will be this angle here? You're right, that's 45 degrees. So they are the same. If they're the same, if this 45 here correspond to a side opposite to it, which is 8, this 45 will have 8 also. So the value of X here is also 8. Now, for us to find the opposite to the 90 degree, again, according to the formula here, whatever the A, you multiply it by square root of 2. So the A here is 8. So 8 square root of 2. And that's the answer. Another way to do that one is use Pythagorean Theorem. Again, Pythagorean Theorem doesn't work all the time based on the given information in a 45, 45, 90 or 30, 60, 90. So you have to learn the formula still. So what do we do with using Pythagorean Theorem? Let's say we do not know the 8 squared of 2. So we know that 8 squared plus 8 squared is equal to y squared. 8 squared is 64. This is also 64. And that will give you 128 y squared. If you take the square root of y squared and 128, we can break down the 128 to 64 and 2. 64 is 8 and 8. Then you can see, guys, that we have a pair of 8 here. So that therefore a square root of 8, 8, 2, and 8 will come out. So therefore the 8 square root of 2 is the answer. And that's what we got over here. Okay, very simple. What if this time we are given the hypotenuse in a 45, 45, 90? So again, this is 45. That has to be 45 also. So we know that the X and the Y has to be the same. There are two ways. First way, let's go back to what we did a while ago here. How can you get an A from A square of 2? If you are given 8 square of 2, how can you get an A? How can you isolate the A here? We simply just divide it by square of 2, square of 2. So if you're given a hypotenuse divided by square of 2, that will give you the leg of a 45, 45, 90. So let's apply it here. So since this is the hypotenuse because it's opposite 90, for me to know what's X and Y, I'm going to divide 28 by square of 2. If I do that one, we have to rationalize it by multiplying it by square root of 2 and square root of 2 here. That will give us 28 square root of 2 over 2. Can you simplify 28 divided by 2? Yes. That will give you 14 square root of 2 is the answer. So therefore, the value of y is 14 square root of 2, and this is also 14 square root of 2. They have to be the same because we are in a 45, 45, 90, wherein their corresponding side has to be equal. That's one way. The other way of doing this one here is we know that this is X. That's opposite of 45. This is also 45. They're the same. So this is also X. So therefore, I know that X squared plus X squared is equal to 28 squared. And we know that X squared plus X squared is 2X squared is equal to 28 squared. But what is 28 squared? 28 squared, using our calculator, 28 squared is going to be 784. So this is 784. Divide by 2, divide by 2 there. So X squared is equal to 784 divided by 2 is 392. Take the square of that one. Now we have to break it down. How do we break down 392? If we break it down, we know it's an even number, so divide by 2. That is going to be 2 and 196. And 196 is divisible by 2 again, which is 98. And 98 is divisible by 2 and 49. And 49 is divisible by 7 and 7. Now, if you notice, we have a pair of 2 here and we have a pair of 7. So a 2 will step out of our square root. A 7 will step out of our square root. So we're going to have a 14 there because 2 times 7 is 14. And the one who has no partner is 2. So that stays inside. So that's the value of my x and y over here. Very simple, right? Next, let's go now with 30, 60, 90 special right triangle. Okay, you have to understand that 30 is the smallest angle here. So it needs to have opposite to that one should be the shorter side. Look at the note here. The shorter leg is always opposite to 30 degrees. And the longer leg is always opposite to 60 degrees. But the longest side here is the hypotenuse. So how does the formula works here? The shorter leg is x. Whatever the x here, if you know the opposite of 30 degrees, you just multiply that by square of 3 and boom, you get the longer leg, which is opposite to 60 degrees. And for you to find the hypotenuse, you double the shorter leg. You multiply it by 2. Very simple, right? If you know the shorter leg, okay? So let's go here now to the formula. I have here a right triangle. This is 90, that's 60, so I know that this will be 30. Opposite to my 30 degrees is 5. So if that's 5, so if this is 5 here, according to the formula, how is my longer leg? My longer leg is opposite to my 60 degrees, which is right here. So this pink side here is my longer leg. The formula is x squared of 3, but if x equal to 5, so therefore the answer here is 5 square root of 3. I just simply multiply the side of the shorter leg to the square of 3, boom, then I get the answer. And how do I get the hypotenuse? Again, x equals 5. So if this is 5 here, 5 times 2 will just give me a 10. And there you have it. That's how you solve that special right triangle using 30, 60, 90 triangle theorem. Okay, let's go to a different example. This time, we're not given the shorter leg. What is given here? We have a 90, that's 30. This is my 60. That's my longer leg. This is my shorter leg. And this is my hypotenuse. What's given here is the hypotenuse, 32. According here, the hypotenuse, you double the shorter leg, you get the hypotenuse. So what's the reverse of that one? Instead of multiplying by 2, we will divide by 2 to get the shorter leg. So we're going to divide this by 2, which will give us 16. So 16 is your shorter leg. So x there is equal to 16. Now you know what is shorter leg. How do you find the longer leg? Going back to the formula. If you know that the shorter leg is 16, you multiply it by square of 3. So therefore, the answer here is 16 square root of 3. If you notice, once you figure out what is the shorter leg, you always get, it's easier now to find the longer leg and the hypotenuse. So always try to shoot for that x there, okay? Let's go here, last example. So I have here a right triangle. This is 90, that's 30. What is given here? This is my shorter leg, this is my longer leg. No, I'm wrong. This is my shorter leg, and this is my longer leg, and this is my hypotenuse. This time, I give you the longer leg. The longer leg in this formula here, this 60, so the opposite is right here. I have to find the value of x, okay? I know my longer leg is 20, done. So the formula for longer leg is x squared of 3. So x squared of 3 is equal to 20. What do we need to do here? We divide it by square root of 3, divide by square root of 3. So in order for us to know what is x, x there in this case is the shorter leg. For us to know the shorter leg, we just have to divide by square root of 3. So that will give us 20 over square root of 3, and we have to rationalize it. Square root of 3, square root of 3 there. That will give us 20 square root of 3 over 3. So my shorter leg here is 20 square root of 3 over 3. Now you know what's your shorter leg. Again, we just double it to find the hypotenuse here. So multiply this by 2 here. That will give us 40 square root of 3 over 3. That's my hypotenuse. Easy, okay? And that's how you apply 30, 60, 90 and 45, 45, 90 right triangle theorem. All right, as always, kaboom.